Today I'm taking a look at a fragrance that has received a fair bit of hype recently from other YouTube reviewers as well as the fragrance community as a whole. This one is from Lalique and it's called Encre Noire A L'EXTREME. And to find out my thoughts on this one, stay tuned to Mags Frags. Yes, hello again everybody and welcome to another episode of Mags Frags. I'm Paul and this is day 34 of my Fragrance 365 project where I talk about a different fragrance every day for a whole year. Today's scent of the day is Encre Noire A L'EXTREME by Lalique. And like I said in the opening, this one gets quite a lot of hype in the fragrance community, but it took me months to decide to purchase it. I kept putting it in my shopping cart and then taking it back out again because I'd see something else that I wanted more. But at last it's finally here for me to give my opinions on. This came out in 2015 and it's a flanker of the original Encre Noire from 2006. There's also a sport version, but to be honest, I haven't tried the other two, so I can't give you a comparison between the lineup. So this is a standalone review, I'm afraid. It's described on the official Lalique website as reinventing masculine sensuality with a woody new intensity and an unforgettable sillage. Sounds promising, so let's take a look at the notes and see what makes this one so unforgettable. Yeah, the top notes in this one are bergamot, cypress and resin. In the mid we've got vetiver, orris and incense, and in the base there's patchouli, sandalwood and benzoin. So where do I begin with this one? I suppose the opening would be a good place to start. It opens up with a smell that reminds me of an old abandoned house that's been sat rotting for over 100 years with dust and cobwebs all over it. No joke. Imagine going on a ghost trail in a haunted house and picking up an old leather-bound book and blowing dust off the front. That's literally what this smells like in the opening. It's a very dry and hollow smell that made me want to take a wire brush to my skin when I first sprayed it. I really didn't like it and it was just not very nice at all. But I'm happy to say that after the first 20 minutes or so, the dry down is much more pleasant with the sandalwood and the benzoin in the base kind of sweetening it up a touch and providing a little bit of creaminess. But overall, this is not a fragrance that I would recommend as a blind buy. It is very masculine and woody, but it's not a sweet and new wood accord. It's more of an old dusty wood that has a cold dampness to it. The presentation on this is really high quality and I love the look of the square bottle, which has got like a half clear and half matte black colourway, so you can see the deep orange juice that's inside it. If somebody told me that this was a £200 fragrance, I'd have no problem believing them because it does feel really expensive and premium product when it's in your hand. We've got a square wooden cap on the top. It was a square wood effect cap. It's actually plastic, but it's got the Lalique logo there. You can see that on the camera. The box is very, very high quality. It's a matte black finish and it's got like an orange band that runs all the way around it there. And it says Lalique on the sides and then the Encre Noire branding on the front there. We've also got the product information on the bottom. And then on the top we've got like a really nice logo there. So this is a 25 to £30 fragrance, and I could point you in the direction of loads of £200 plus fragrances that don't look anywhere near as high quality as this is presented. So for that reason it'd get a 10 out of 10 for its presentation from me. So if you was heading out to a Halloween fancy dress party and you were dressed as Lurch from the Addams Family, then this one would be a perfect atmospheric scent to give you that mouldy old rotten vibe. But apart from that, I'd say you'd be struggling. But whatever you do, don't wear this as an office scent. People will be coming up to you and giving you a shake to make sure you haven't died with like rigor mortis already setting in. Also, don't reach for this if you're going on a date, for God's sake. You'll smell like you're wearing your granddad's old clothes that have been sat in the loft for the past 30 years. But seriously, I can't think of a time where I would wear this. Maybe autumn time if I was like going for a walk outside in the woods, maybe, but I just don't know when I'd wear this one. I don't think I would. Yeah, unfortunately for me, the performance on this is pretty good, and it lasts probably a good 6 to 8 hours. But it's not a huge projector, but I can detect it when I'm moving around for the first hour or maybe couple of hours, and then it kind of settles down and it becomes more of a skin scent, which is when I think when it becomes a skin scent and you go close to it, it does start to smell much nicer, but that opening is bad. This is a unique and challenging scent that will divide opinions right down the middle. It's one that I'd recommend that you at least try to just to experience it for yourself, but it's not a full bottle blind buy worthy in my opinion. Personally, I wouldn't wear it, and I don't see how anyone could think that this smells great, but that's why the fragrance community is so interesting. It's all subjective, and this is only my own personal and honest opinion on this one. This is a well-blended fragrance that's got niche qualities about it, and the presentation is top drawer, but the overall smell unfortunately doesn't float my boat, and for that reason I'm going to give Encre Noire A L'EXTREME by Lalique an underwhelming 5 out of 10. Yeah, so once again, that's about it for today's scent of the day. Don't forget, tomorrow I will be taking a look at a fragrance that's been requested by one of my subscribers, and it's one that's been heavily hyped in the past, but it's recently gone a little bit quiet, so we're going to be doing a little bit of a chat on that one, so make sure you look out for that one. I'd also like to give a special mention to Chris over at Fragmental for his shout out the other day. Chris's channel is one of the most popular in the UK, so it was very kind of him to give myself and Barry over at Essentialize a mention. It's pretty tricky to get started with a new channel, and it feels like you're swimming against the tide sometimes, so it's really nice when you get noticed by one of the big channels, so thank you very much, pal, much appreciated. Also, if you've just stumbled across the channel and you want to come along for the rest of the 365 project, please don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell icon for notifications. I've got loads of cracking fragrances to talk about coming up in the near future, so it'll be great to see more and more people come on board. So until tomorrow, thank you once again for watching. Stay safe everybody, keep smelling fresh, and bye bye for now.